guys, I'm Ethan, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you the first book of the Riddle Master Trilogy by Patricia A. McKillop. It's kind of like an adventure fantasy type book, trilogy. It's 227 pages in the first book, and they have all been published by Ace Books in New York. For starters, I'm just going to say that this book trilogy is very similar to, I'm sure, hopefully, most of you have read or heard of the Lord of the Rings trilogy by J.R.R. Tolkien. Both trilogies are in like a medieval type world on a big landmass. The Lord of the Rings is on Middle Earth, and the Riddle Master is on, well, they say it's Earth, but really, so back to topic. The protagonist of this series book trilogy, his name is Morgan, and he's the prince of this little tiny island country off the coast. His name is Head, H-E-D. The country's name is Head. It's all farmers. There's no warriors. There's no wars. It's never been a war ever. Anyway, Morgan, he was born with 3 stars on his forehead, which apparently, as he finds out later, is a symbol of this ancient prophecy, which asks, what about the guy with stars on his face? What is he gonna do? He's supposed to be important. But Morgan doesn't care. He just wants to be a farmer and stay and be with his family and be a farmer. But then he ends up having to change his mind because he gets attacked a couple times by these shapeshifters things. People who attack him and then they disappear. Then they sink his ship and he ends up on a little island somewhere. He doesn't even remember who he is. Now Morgan, he doesn't even remember his home. He doesn't feel the need to go back anymore. So one thing leads to another, and pretty soon he's on a quest to see if his former friend is really the 1,000-year-old founder of the ancient city of wizards, which doesn't exist anymore. So I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but let me just tell you that when you read this book, if you read this book, hopefully you read this book. When you do, don't stop reading it if it gets boring, because I know from about 25 to 100, you're going to get confused. You're going to have to read pages a couple times sometimes, because you won't understand. But don't lose your interest. Just keep reading, and you'll be rewarded because it gets to be really good, actually. So now I'm going to read you a passage from this book. It's on page 167 in case you care to follow along. The war is not finished, only silenced for the regathering. You will bear stars of fire and ice to the ending of the age of the High One. But we cannot live without the High One. This is what we have been promised. This will be. So this scene is where Morgan is in a cave, the Cave of the Lost Ones, in case you need to know right now. And he finds these people in there who nobody knows, but they claim to be the children of the people who created Earth. And they say that he's going to end the age of the High One. The High One is basically the all-powerful ruler of it. They kind of treat him like he's God, but people don't really know much about him. I think this scene really it's like the turning point of the story. This is when Morgan really feels like he needs to go to the High One and basically ask him who he thinks that he is, who he thinks that Morgan is, and so then people can stop bothering him and he can go back to being a farmer. I really like this book, and I'm sure you will too. If you're in any way, shape, or form interested in The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or any books like that, you're gonna love this. And I cannot stress enough, when you read this book, do not stop reading just because it starts to get boring or you don't understand it anymore. Just keep reading. Skip a page if you really can't understand it. Hopefully you won't miss anything important. I highly recommend this book. You should definitely read it. And that's all. Thanks for listening.